For me, huge. What a lift. Getting 10,000+ in here today. Big. Big thanks to the fan base there for post Christmas, pre New Year, crowd like that. Not for like a conference game, but for this game, that was just a huge huge lift and a great thing to see. And like we talked about with the players, as you get better as a program and as you win, the crowds get bigger and better, and the games get bigger and better. So that was great to see. Loved a lot of what we did defensively. Liked how we shot it from three. Disappointed in our ability to finish at the 2-point range. Took better care of the ball than we have been. We're sitting more in that 10 turnover range, which is where we've been for most of the season. But just disappointed in just the way we were finishing around the basket. That's got to improve if we're going to be better than we've been the last couple of years in conference.
Dan, is Christian getting a better idea when he needs to take over like he did today when you needed him?
Yes, and he, he had the one second half, which was kind of like a step back three, but that was after he had kind of made a couple. I did not like. I got on him and Al there. I thought in the first half, I thought we played pretty well for 16 minutes, like really, really well, defensively and making the extra pass. And I thought we had like 4 really horrific minutes, all in the same half, which was like inexplicable to me at the time. But I got on Al and I got on Christian in particular at halftime because I felt like, they didn't make enough of like the simple plays. Christian's drive where I thought he got fouled and then I got the technical. He had a Cook wide open in the left corner for a 3. He's got to pitch that. And the strength of the team is our depth, and we just got to make the right play. We can't afford to have any players try to do too much offensively, with the exception of potentially James, who should always be in attack mode.
The job you did on Cooks, obviously that was something you were looking, game planning on. Satisfied overall with the job you did on him? Yeah,
I thought Al, it's like one of those games where you talk to Al and Gaffney, and you guys are going to expend so much energy at the defensive game that's what this game requires. You're not going to have a big offensive game, when you're guarding somebody of Cooks' caliber. So, we did a great job of blowing up ball screens with him. Aggressively, flat and high in those dribble handoffs, and he probably should have ended up, with probably 5, 6, 7 points in the game. But we let him get loose a little bit late. He picked up some lazy buckets by our part. Probably could have been able to keep doing an even better job on him. But Al did a great job, and the forwards, for the most part, did a good job as well.
Dan, can you just talk a little bit about what you think this team has gotten out of the first non-conference portion of the season and what kind of resolutions you have for the new year and the conference portion for this team?
Well, my resolutions for the new year is, I want to try and drink less coffee. I want to go to bed earlier. I want to curse less. We're better. I mean, we're a better team than we were, last year. Obviously, got some exciting young players. I think we're potentially very good defensively. Offensively, we've still got some real work to do. Today we again we got the turnover thing under control, but we couldn't finish at the rim. We shot it well from 3. We took better care of the ball. We passed it better, but then we didn't finish. So when you're at this point, year 2, you almost feel like you're game by game, just kind of plugging holes, and a lot of our holes are at the offensive end of the court right now. So, you feel relief getting through this last bye game here, because there's really not a whole lot to gain from winning it, and there's a lot to lose from blowing it. now we get a chance to play for something. Now we get a chance to play in like high-level conference games, and we get a chance to try to move this thing forward and and attack conference play and try to compete at a high level and try to have a great season.
Can you talk about that moment for Matt when with the whole building chanting his name?
Yeah, oh, that was crazy. Well, that's Southington? Yes. St. Paul High?
Yeah.
The whole school was here. Everyone was here from the whole city. Yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't believe that. I mean, I turned, I thought maybe like Ray Allen or Kemba was at the game, and they stood up and they got an ovation. But then Matt, I mean, they didn't help his cause with that because then the free throw line, he had no shot there. He was hyperventilating. But give him credit, man. He got downhill twice and he made 2 nice drives. He just, he couldn't breathe at the line.
Feel the pressure to put him in, Dan?
No, I wanted to. He had that great pass in the last game, and Matt's good. Matt's an excellent, member of the program. So he's a good player, Matt. So I knew he wasn't going to be like he could really function. I feel bad that he wasn't able to like make a couple because he's a great kid and a good player.
Dan, if I could just revisit going into the conference start again. If I had a, we were talking down in Philly, say, how do you see your team as different today from media day, and what are your biggest concerns going into the conference? I know you talked about some offensive, could you just kind of talk a little more?
Yeah, I just think we're much more of a team. I just think that the program is, culture. It's a real thing now. Like the character of our team is a lot stronger. We're a lot tougher. You take away that St. Joe's game, and where we are obviously in a very different place. We've been a very, very tough-minded, competitive, determined team. We haven't always played, great basketball, especially at the offensive end. But I just think we've come a long way as a program in terms of how we show up, how we compete. Obviously, the defensive end is like night and day compared to last year. And and like the young, Cook, Gaffney, Booknight have infused us with this youthful talent. And energy, and then I just think that everyone that is a better version of themselves for the most part. Obviously, I got to get Josh going. Josh is a critical piece here. Got to get Josh going. That's a big part of what. If we're going to have success this year, we do got to get Josh going. But a lot more confident. I'm less scared. I'm nervous. I'm not scared though. Last year I was scared.
Dan, Gaffney had 7 assists, no turnovers. He's had a few games with that kind of line. What's your confidence level now in putting him in and kind of giving him the keys if you need to do that?
Yeah, I mean it's he's got such a calm demeanor, and he's such a smart, skilled guy. He lets plays breathe. Like he doesn't. If he doesn't like his numbers, if he doesn't like his opportunities, he'll drag it a dribble or two and let the defense make a mistake or make them commit, as opposed to trying to force something quick. And he's obviously, for a point guard, he's pretty tall. He's almost, a little bit over 6'2", so he's got really good positional size, and and he's just a baby out there physically. He's got a great future, and we could play him with Al. If Al's struggling, he can really help us right the ship. So, he's really starting to figure it out.
How much does Cook's energy get you guys going? I mean, I think he started out with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 blocks in the first 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's just you couldn't have a better approach to everything, with this guy, and he's actually the type of guy you got to be careful as a coach what you say to him, because he literally listens to every single thing that we're saying to him. It's he trusts he trusts his coaches, and he just plays with an energy and a joyfulness, and he doesn't care about touches, and he just plays so hard, and he allows his talent to take over because he doesn't get in his own way. He doesn't think about himself. He's not wrapped up in his numbers or his performance and how it's going for him. He just plays and plays and plays, and that's why at the end of this, he's going to get exactly what he deserves.
Have you seen a player before with that kind of attitude and mindset in your coaching career who kind of just goes and does for the love of the game type deal?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably two guys for me. We had a guy with his type of, with the crowd and just fans and the staff, and Fats Russell, who's at Rhode Island right now, who had this electricity about him and ability to just people were drawn to him. The joy and the energy played with was just ridiculous. And then I would say that probably Tristan Thompson, just in terms of a guy that didn't need the ball to play great. I mean, he legitimately, he's potentially, I don't know if he's averaging 7 points a game, but he's probably been close to, if not our best player, averaging 7 points a game, just because of how he impacts the game all across the board. So Tristan was like that because he wasn't a big-time scorer, but rebounding, block shots, energy, intensity.
You mentioned getting Josh going offensively. Is he lacking confidence a little bit, Dan? I mean, there's a couple times today where he could have just caught, turned, and shoot, instead put it on the deck. He almost looks like he's not sure of himself out there.
Yeah, he's in a funk, and if I go with it's hard to play in these types of low to mid-major games. You guys are probably going to take a run at me if I say that, but he just, he's a junior. He's had a ton of starts. He's played at a very high level against some really good teams. He's above that. He's better than that. We're going to do a really good job with him the next 2 days, to get him ready, and we'll do some real work around the basket. And we need a much better version of Josh if we're going to have a good conference season. But so much of this game is mental, man. When it starts going sideways on you, you got to be mentally strong. You got to believe in yourself, and you got to trust yourself. And but we'll rally around him, and we'll have him ready. He played really well at Cincinnati last year, so hopefully, a lot of times with players, they walk into places where they've had success, and they remember that, and it helps. So hopefully that'll help. Happy New Year.